Khalil Barankais. Good morning.
Morning, Lorraine Botha, alternate and standing in for Murray Winger today.
Good morning.
All right, thank you, members, and thank you, Member Botha, for standing in for Member Winger today. Colleagues, before we get into the agenda, I just want to put on record that the meeting is open. I think the agenda item on the matter on the agenda today, I personally have no issue having the meeting remain open, because it is we're going to get a briefing by the registrar on the submission of the members' interest forms. If there's any objection to that being or this meeting being open, can you please give me an indication, and then we can discuss that.
No objection, Chair.
All right. If there's no objection, then the meeting will remain open, and then I'm going to immediately hand over to the registrar to take us through the proposal of the members' interest forms during this period.
Sorry, Chairperson.
Yes, Ms. Simon.
Can we just please note the apology received from Member Wenger?
Thank you very much. That is noted. Registrar, are you there?
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members. Yes, I'm here, Chair. Should I proceed?
Yes, can you please proceed?
Thank you. Members, based on my experiences over the past couple of years, I noted that for the most part, when members submit their disclosure forms, the information does not change from year to year. What I thought of then was that I could take the information that members have submitted, then I would check certain details using methods that I routinely use to make sure that what is reflected on the form is actually what is out there. And then rather than have the members waste time filling in by hand this form, I would send it out pre-filled in with the information excuse me, that I had established and from what I had gleaned from previous reports. And then the member would only have to indicate on the form if the information is correct or not. If the information is correct, they would merely tick a box, and at the end of the form, if everything is correct, they would sign it and return it to me, and that would be the submission for the current year. If one scrolls down on the form to the first page, next page, please. Keep going. A little bit further. Okay, if you stop there, you will see that I have filled in some fictitious information, the name of a company, the number of shares, text editing, etc., etc. And then there are two tick boxes. Information complete and correct. Changes need to be made. And so this is the same format for the form until one gets down to the sponsorships, gifts and hospitality, foreign travel benefits, which have to be filled in every year because they change. What I have done, or what I intend to do, is make sure that the form cannot be edited or printed by the member. The member would have to indicate to me separately on a piece of paper or by email what changes need to be made. These would then be made by myself, and the form would be forwarded back to the member to confirm the correctness, and once it is correct again, it would be filed. And if one proceeds through the form, and all the members have been provided with the form, one will see that the same sort of layout has been followed in the confidential section, as well as the immediate family section. And that, very briefly, Chair, is the proposal that this form be used electronically in view of the Disaster Management Act, and that members only have to confirm the correctness of the information. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Chair. Member Brankes here. Through you, Chair, if I
Yes.
could ask a question to the registrar.
Yes, you may. And then I see you and then Member Bartman.
Thank you, Chair. Registrar, I would just like to know what is the closing date to submit these forms. Thank you very much.
All right. And then a Member Bartman.
Thank you, Chairperson. I just wanted to find out, firstly, just a compliment to the registrar for this innovative idea. I think it's quite brilliant, actually, because it will allow for more correctness and accuracy in the document. But secondly, I just wanted to find out, how would signatures work? I know that some members do use electronic signatures, and then so this form essentially would be confirming over email, and that would that legally be allowed, because this is also a legally mandated form? Thank you.
Thank you. Registrar.
Thank you, Chair.
Registrar, if you just give us 1 second, I see Honourable Lacker's hand.
Good morning, Chair. Thank you for allowing me, and also thank you to the registrar for providing us with this opportunity. I would like to check in an event where a member last year said he lives in a particular house, and the following time he does not indicate whether he still stays in that house or not. In that place, there's nothing. What happened in such cases? Because I had a look at the open side of the register, where I noticed that so what happens in such situation? You get provided with a separate letter that says, I sold the house, I no longer stay there, or what happened?
Thank you. Registrar.
Thank you, Chair. To answer Member Brinkhuis's question, the date is mandated by the Code of Conduct, and the date remains at the 30th of April. To answer Member Bartman, yes, an electronic signature is legally binding in terms of the law. And in fact, there is a policy put out by the Western Cape Provincial Government detailing how electronic signatures should be handled. But certainly, if one signs a form electronically and dates and timestamps it, it is legally binding. Now, to answer Member Lecker's question, one of the methods that is used to check up on matters that have been disclosed is one that refers to the deeds office, where all properties are registered. If a property is registered to a member, then that property will be included on the form. If the member has moved out of that house or sold it, the member would be required to give a separate letter that this house has been sold. The form will then be updated to show that there's no property at that particular address, and that would be the end of the matter. I hope that answers all the questions. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Registrar. Members, are there any follow-up questions? Honourable Brinkhuis.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, through you, Chair, I would like to ask the registrar also that if it is possible for us as members to print out these forms and fill it in by pen and then scan it and email it back, signed also, and scan it and email it back to the registrar. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Bartman. And then Member Lacker, is that an old hand or is it a follow-up question?
It's a follow-up, Chair.
All right, so then Member Bartman and then Member Lacker.
Thank you, Chair. My follow-up is to ask whether the policy regarding electronic signatures can just be forwarded to all members if it has not been done already, and if it has, if it could just be sent to some of us again who haven't received it. And then I just wanted to find out last year, I just want to find out how will the checking of information be happening this year, if any, and is there sufficient funding in order for the registrar to do checking? Because we need to be able to enable the registrar to be able to check the information, given that previously we noted that checking and verification have different meanings. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Lacker.
Thank you, Chairperson. My follow-up would be whether, as members, we have a right to request for the letter that Mr. Badges made reference to when a property is no longer registered. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Registrar, over to you.
Thank you, Chair. To answer Member Brinkhurst, yes, if Member Brinkhurst prefers to print and fill in by hand or alter the form by hand, certainly it can be sent so that he can print it, fill it in, scan it, and email it back to me. However, the form was designed to minimize the amount of work for members, but certainly if he wishes to do it that way, there's no problem with that. Member Bartman, yes, I think I have a copy of this Western Cape government policy. I will, if I have it, I will scan it and send it out. There's no problem with that. Funding, the administration of Parliament has met all the expenses to date that I have incurred in checking and verifying information. So I think one can safely assume that funding is available. Then, Member Lecker, I'm not quite sure what your question was. If you could perhaps repeat it, I'd be very grateful.
Thank you, Member Lacker.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Badges, on my request of whether what happens when one does not disclose a property, he responded by saying, when one has probably sold the property or no longer reside in the property, that particular person would then write a letter stating that maybe the property has been sold or what. And therefore, my question is, like it is on the members' interest, we have access to the open side of it. Will that kind of a letter be open to members as well?
All right, thank you. Advocate Burgess.
Thank you, Chair. Member Lecker, it's quite a simple process. The thinking behind verifying property at the deeds office is that the deeds office is available to all members of the public, and any member of the public can go there and view details of any property registered in the Western Cape to any person on the payment of a prescribed fee. If in the interim a member has sold that property but the deeds office hasn't updated that information, then I would require a letter or some indication from the member that the property has been sold, in which case I would update the form to show that and keep the letter on file should any member of the public wish to see it or any member wish to see it. I think that answers your question. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Members, are there any further follow-up questions?
I'm covered, Chair. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Honorable Lecker?
Chair, I'm trying to lower my hand. Yeah, my apologies.
No problem,
I
but
don't
are
have a
you
question.
covered? Are you covered
I'm
with the
happy.
response? All right.
I'm happy with the response, Chair.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, members, I brought this item to the conduct committee because I didn't want to take a decision on my own with the registrar, with the proposal of the amended or the amended process for completion. I want the committee to either accept this proposal or say that no, we go back to the way we used to do it. So I'm tabling this proposal as for adoption or rejection. Honorable Lecker?
I move to adopt the proposal, Chair.
All right, thank you, Honorable Lecker. Honorable Bartman?
Thank you, Chair. I move to second.
All right, thank you very much. Then we will follow this process for this financial year. Allow me, Registrar, to put on record, say thank you very much for the innovative proposal, and thank you very much for the work that went into this to make it easier for members of parliament to meet the legal obligation for submission. It's really welcomed, and we appreciate the effort that went into this. All right, members, I will now move on to the next agenda item, which is the adoption of the minutes of the meeting of the 26th of October. Ms. Simon, if you could please just flight the minutes.
Everybody see that?
Yes, we can. If you
Yes,
can
we
just
can.
scroll down. All right, thank you, members. Page 1, any edits or amendments?
Nothing from my side, Chair.
Thank you. If no edits or amendments, page 2, any edits or amendments? If
I'm
not,
covered, Chair. I'm not.
if
Yes,
not,
thank you.
page 3. If not, page 4. Right. If there's no edits or amendments, I then table the minutes of the 26th of October 2020 for adoption. Honorable Bartman?
Chair, I just wanted to indicate that unfortunately I'm unable to adopt because I wasn't present for this particular meeting.
All right. Thank you.
Chair, I adopt the minutes.
Thank you very much. So Honorable Brinker has proposed that we adopt the minutes. Can I get a seconder? It's either between Honorable Lecker and myself.
Member Lecker was not in the meeting, Chair.
I was also not in a meeting, Chair.
All right. So according to the rules, the standing rules, we don't need a seconder. But just for the record, I then second the proposal by Honourable Brinkers for adoption. Ms. Simon, are we legally compliant?
Yes, as long as it's been proposed and Member Brinkers was in the meeting, it's adopted.
Thank you very much. Members, the minutes for the 26th of October has therefore been adopted. Are there any matters arising from the minutes?
Only one matter, Chair. That was my birthday. 14 August was my birthday.
Happy belated birthday. My apologies that we no, I think we did wish you on that day.
All in order, Chair. Thank you.
Members, if there's no matters arising, that's the end of this meeting, or the end of the agenda. Thank you very much for that you adjusted your calendars to accommodate this meeting, and then also to Ms. Simon and IT. Thank you very much for your support, the operational support to make this happen. Members, if there's no further items that you would like to raise, the meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Chair.